Deep in the humid jungles of Mexico, 17 colossal stone heads lie scattered across the forest floor.
Some weigh up to 50 tons. They were carved over 3,000 years ago from volcanic rock, without metal tools or the wheel, and they were transported over 6 kilometers through dense jungle, without the wheel, without draft animals, without iron tools. The civilization that made them vanished long ago, leaving behind no written records. Only the heads remain.
The Olmec civilization flourished along the Gulf Coast of Mexico between 1200 BC and 400 BC.
They were the first great civilization in Mesoamerica, the cultural ancestors of the Maya and Aztecs. Archaeologists call them the mother culture.
But until the 1930s, they were completely unknown to the modern world. That changed when a farmer clearing land for corn. Over the following decades, archaeologists discovered 17 of these giant heads scattered across 4 main sites.
The heads range from 1.5 to over 3 meters in height, with the heaviest weighing nearly 45 tons.
Each is carved from a single block of basalt, a hard volcanic rock that does not exist anywhere near the sites. How did the Olmec move these massive stones through jungle and river, without the wheel, without draft animals, without iron tools? The leading theory involves sledges, log rollers, and large wooden rafts floating down rivers. But even with these, the effort required was staggering. The logistical planning alone suggests a highly organized society with strong leadership. Some heads have deep grooves on their backs, which may have been used for ropes. But the bigger question is, who do these faces represent? Each head is unique, with distinct facial features, different headdresses, and even different expressions. Some wear helmet-like headgear that may have been used in the ritual Olmec ballgame. Others have ornaments and symbols of power. Most archaeologists believe these are portraits of Olmec rulers, powerful leaders who commissioned the heads as a display of their authority. However, the heads are not found in temples or palaces. They are placed in public plazas, arranged in rough alignments. The placement of the heads was deliberate. They were positioned to be seen, to be feared, to be remembered.
The evidence is undeniable. 17 colossal heads, each weighing up to 50 tons, carved.
Geochemical analysis confirms that the basalt used for the heads comes from the Tuxtla Mountains, over 60 kilometers away. One of the heads has a massive hole drilled through its temple, as if it was deliberately damaged and then repaired. Another has been carefully patched with a separate piece of stone. This suggests these monuments were not just art. Some were deliberately buried, carefully laid in pits and covered with clay and stone, as if they were being hidden or stored for a future purpose. This deliberate burial is one of the greatest mysteries. Was it a ritual decommissioning? A way of ending the power of a full. In recent years, LiDAR technology has discovered new Olmec sites, new monuments, new clues. The jungle is slowly giving up its secrets. But the heads themselves remain the most powerful symbol of a lost civilization. The Olmec were master sculptors. Their art is remarkably consistent across all media, suggesting a shared aesthetic and cultural identity. The evidence is in the stone. But the meaning remains hidden, buried beneath centuries of silence. But there is a twist. The Olmec civilization collapsed around 400 BC. Their cities were abandoned, but their influence spread throughout Mesoamerica. Their art, their gods, and their architecture were adopted by later civilizations. The collapse of the Olmec remains a mystery. Was it climate change, volcanic activity, political upheaval? We may never know. The truth is, we have no written records from the Olmec. No codices, no inscriptions, no narrative texts. The stones are silent. The mystery of the heads is not just about how they were made or why. It is about the civilization that made them. Their voice is lost, but their faces remain. The Olmec were not the first, but they were the first great civilization of the Americas. And they left behind a riddle that may never be solved. 17 faces, carved in stone, staring into the jungle for 3,000 years. They are a message in stone, a warning and a testament. They are the faces of a people who refuse to be forgotten. But the voices behind them are silent. The scientific explanations focus on leadership, ritual, and propaganda. The heads were a public statement of power. The headdresses and symbols probably identified specific leaders, possibly with mythological associations. The Olmec established a template that would be followed for thousands of years. Rulers carved in stone, placed in public space. The Olmec were not just artists. They were engineers, architects, and astronomers. The construction of the heads was some researchers have suggested the heads were aligned with astronomical events, but this remains speculative. The evidence is inconclusive.
See how this line extends down?
Yes, but what about the wear right here? It looks deliberate.
Okay.
It changes everything we thought we knew about the site.
The construction of a single head required hundreds of workers, thousands of hours, and a complex supply chain. The portraiture theory is strengthened by the discovery of small figurines that closely resemble the colossal heads, suggesting they were modeled.
The heads were not isolated objects. They were part of a larger ceremonial landscape, designed to communicate a specific message to the people who lived there.
The Olmec heads remain one of the greatest achievements of ancient art, but they are also one of its greatest mysteries. One thing is certain, the 17 heads are not just stone. They are the faces of a people who refuse to be forgotten. They are a message in stone, a warning and a testament, a cry from the depths of the jungle that still echoes across 3,000 years. The Olmec left no written records. They left no names, no dates, no explanations. Only these faces. We have found no texts, no codices, nothing written. The Olmec language remains undeciphered. The heads are still there. They have survived earthquakes, hurricanes, and the relentless growth of the jungle. They will survive us too. The Olmec are not entirely lost. Their descendants still live in the region. They carry the blood of the people who carved these heads. The Olmec heads are a direct link to a world we have barely begun to understand. They remind us that the past is always deeper than we imagine. The mystery of the Olmec heads is not just about who built them, or how, or why. It is about the silence that surrounds them. Some mysteries are solved. Others are only beginning. The file is closed. The mystery remains.